Today I'm gonna be painting on these mini plastic suitcases. After days of trying to figure out what to do with them, I finally came up with an idea and I'm turning this into any occasion cards. This first suitcase I want to turn into a birthday card. So the outside will read happy birthday, and once you open it you'll have a little piece of paper where you can write your message, but you'll also find a little tiny piñata. My original idea was to only draw the piñata in there, but since I found some model magic clay at my home, and this is a suitcase, I decided to actually model a little piñata and put it in there. So here I go again with the modeling, which is not my strong suit, but hey, I'll give it another shot. I'm starting to shape the little horse, burro, donkey thing, and it's not easy because it's really tiny. This is why I keep squishing it and trying to form it again. After fidgeting with it for a long time, I finally have it to where I can stand it, and I'm gonna leave it to air dry and maybe I can paint on it or something to make it better. My original plan was to draw, but now that I've modeled the first thing, I think I want to have something in each of these suitcases, so I decided that I'm gonna batch the modeling for all 4 gift cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and make what I need for each one. I am now working on the love card, and for this one I'm only making a simple little heart. And hey, wow, look at me, I have a tool now. I found this disposable knife and I'm using it. Yeah, I am now taking my modeling skills to the next level. Okay, done with that one and on to the next one. Now I'm gonna make some stars, and again I found this clay at home and it has a little texture, so let's see if I like it. First star out of the way almost with the help of my trusty tool, and then I decided for this suitcase I want to have a set of 3 stars: large, medium, and small. And I know you don't really see the texture of the yellow stars on the screen, but I got nervous that they look more like starfish than stars, so I made an extra set of orange ones that I can paint. Okay, last little suitcase to model for, and for this one I wanted to make a little cloud. So I started to do it and I thought this was gonna be the easy one, but for some reason I had such a hard time modeling the cloud in the way I liked it. And when I had a shape that I really liked, I made it too big for the suitcase. So I kept trying and trying until I decided to take the suitcase and use it as a mold. So I basically just drew the cloud I wanted to on my paper and then stuck the clay on top of it and use it as a mold. Okay, last piece done. I'm gonna set it aside with the others, and once they're all dry, I can move to the next step, which is of course painting. Back to my birthday card, and the first thing I'm going to do is have my text on the top of the suitcase. Write it out nice and pretty. And I'm also going over it on the back so it pops up a little bit more, and also since it's on the other side, it's going to give it a little bit more of a dimension. With that done, now I add a little bit of colorful confetti to make it a little bit more cheerful. I'm going to let all of that dry for a little while, and I'm going to work on the inside. For the inside, I wanted to give it a background, so I decided to trace the little bag and cut a piece of colorful paper to put in it. This is where you would ideally write your message. I gave the bag a quick spray of varnish so that I would protect my paint, and also so that I can paint a second color on the background. I found this to be necessary because if not, when I went over with the yellow marker on top of the white paint, it would move it around. Okay, so the bag itself is now ready and my little donkey is dry. I've written a little personal message in the card part, and now I'm gonna paint my little piñata. I am gonna put it on a toothpick since it's so small to make it easier to paint. And of course I'm gonna first give it a white coat. While that dried, I decided I didn't like how that white ink looks on my background, so I cut a new piece and I wrote on it with black ink. Back to the donkey, and it's time to add color to it. My first instinct is to do it with a Posca. I think it's gonna be easier, but for some reason the paint's not really flowing like I would want to, and I'm thinking I would have done this faster with the brush. Here I am painting all of the other colors with the brush and finally finishing my little piñata. While that dries, I'm gluing my background on, and the piñata is oh no, wait, it needs eyes. Okay, now it has eyes and it goes in, and finally this one's done. I did give it a layer of varnish so I can protect the paint, but it's ready. On to the next one. You know the drill: writing the message on the cover and then painting it on the back. I am also adding little hearts all over this time. And then after that's done, it's time to paint what goes inside, which in this case, it's a little fat heart, which actually took me much more time than I expected because I was trying to make it look more dimensional and with highlights and everything. After that, I'm again painting the back of the suitcase. This time I tried acrylics. I have to say the Posca did a better job, and also I didn't fix the white paint this time, so it moved a little bit. I thought it was still cute, so I moved on to creating the background, cutting the paper, writing on it, and then I'm gonna put everything together. Glued my heart in so it would stay in place, and now this one's done too. All of my stars are dry too, and as I thought, the yellow ones still look like starfish to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the orange ones and paint them. This one I'm gonna use for a friendship card, and again, I'm following the same process as I did with the two before. Writing the text on the front, then covering the back with white, and for these ones I want to try to make the words look more like little clouds. And I even added a little moon here. With that done, I just had to paint my 3 little stars, and then after that create a little background for this card as well. First I wrote on this one with black marker too, but I saw you couldn't really read it, so I made a second one and wrote on it with white ink instead. Back to a Posca for that background, and in this case it wasn't as neat, but I still like it enough. I went ahead and touched up that moon on the front because I wanted it to be a little bit brighter. And now with all of my pieces ready, again it's time to put it together, and this is how this one looks. Last one, and my little cloud is also ready for paint. I just paint it all white, and while it dries I go ahead and write the text on my bag. This one I'm doing a little different because I'm adding a speech bubble to it, and then I am of course painting the back white so it pops up a little better and it doesn't show what's inside. Time for the inside of the card, and for this one I had a piece of cardboard laying around, so I decided to do it with that. I cut it to fit, and I think it's gonna be a nicer, cleaner fit. Just give it a couple of layers of paint and it's ready to go. Now that everything's dry, I put it together to see how it goes, and I draw a little rainbow coming out from the clouds. It took about 2 to 3 layers of each color of Posca to get it where I wanted it to be, but I think it's really, really pretty and bright. Writing my little message, you can write whatever you want, and with all of my pieces ready, I put it together like I did the last ones, and I was forgetting to paint that back, so I grab a Posca and do it quickly. And as I said before, I think you could write a message on this side of the back too if you wanted to. And the last one is ready, just a little bit of a varnish so I don't lose my paint job, and ta-da! Here are my 4 little suitcases which double as greeting cards. What do you think? Do you have a favorite? Did you like the idea? I was even thinking as I finished that with Valentine's Day around the corner, we could do a whole video with only Valentine themed ones, and it would be precious. Let me know in the comments, and please consider subscribing. Oh, and if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I also bought these and I don't know what to do with them. So your suggestions are welcome. Have a great day.